Hi guys, welcome to another review. What's your second pick, Wayne? What do we got for him?
Mi corazón, my heart, stand by me.
It's a classic 80s film. There's not really another film like it, in my opinion.
No.
It's just such a great adventure, I guess coming of age story type of thing. But the adventure aspect and these kids feel so real. I just really enjoy this picture a lot. So I'm happy you picked this to review. You're on a roll. You're on a roll with some good picks.
Thank you, my man.
So this movie is based off a short story by Stephen King called The Body. It's directed by Rob Reiner, who does Misery, and they're one of my favorites.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's more of a 50s setting, which I love. I love 50s settings in movies. It's like the era, just the look, the cars. Although there's not much cars and all that stuff in this, but you can really feel like the 50s era when the kids are in the treehouse at the beginning.
One of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, it's just so much fun, their interactions. But Will Wheaton, who plays Gordy LaChance there, he's reading like an old mystery 50s magazines. He's into like reading. It's fun to see 50s kids reading,
that's it.
But they're playing cards
and smoking cigarettes.
Well, yeah, they're smoking a little too young there, but it's true. They're smoking way too young. And I think they're actually smoking. I think we got them actually smoking in this film.
First time I ever saw this movie, I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember watching it, and my mom being a young mother.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was only 16 when she had me at the time, and I was born in '86, the year that came out, the same as you in '86.
Yeah, '86 as well.
So my mother, when I first watched this movie, 6 years old, she was telling me all about her experience in the theater because she went to go see it in the actual theater, man.
Yeah, that's how they're so lucky. They don't even understand how lucky they were.
No, exactly.
Because they don't love films like we do. Most of our parents, but they don't understand, man. That era, you had 3 good movies a week. Seemed, and they stayed in theaters for so long.
Yeah, for sure.
I think there was like an $8 million budget for this movie, and made over 55 million. So I mean, it wasn't a huge blockbuster, but I mean, it's still that's a huge return. Almost about 50 million profits. So yeah, it's just a timeless classic.
They have like a lot of good actors too in the movie.
It's another solid cast. We'll get into it there.
Cast, yeah,
like I mentioned, Will Wheaton as Gordon LaChance plays the lead pretty much. But one of my favorite child actors of all time, River Phoenix, God rest his soul.
He's definitely one of mine too. He's definitely one of mine too.
That guy was so talented. He's pretty much, in my opinion, he's like DiCaprio before Leonardo DiCaprio pretty much made his money. Maybe if he stayed alive, guys like DiCaprio and Johnny Depp, those, maybe Christian Slater, those types of guys that were in the same mold and maybe around the same age in the early 90s. Maybe he could. Actually, I think he was signed on to do Basketball Diaries and Interview with a Vampire before he died. The role in Interview for the Vampire was the reporter Christian Slater. So there you go. That role went to him. And Basketball Diaries went to
DiCaprio.
There you go. So maybe there is a little something to that there. But
one of your other favorite childhood actors, Corey Haim, auditioned for the part of Gordy LaChance.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
He auditioned for the part of Gordy LaChance, but the studios wanted him to play River Phoenix's role.
And
Chris Chambers, and he turned it down, and he went to go do Lucas instead.
Right? Yeah, I think around that 86. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, of course we got Corey Feldman, though, the other Corey in this film. There,
literally, he's like my number one favorite childhood actor of the 80s.
It's just he's played in so many great hits. Like if you're gonna name all the child actors, it's just the timeless classics that like Goonies. But
Friday the 13th Part 4.
Yeah, for me, I was just gonna say the Final Chapter. I mean, like
Final Chapter, Goonies, Gremlins.
I mean,
the Burbs.
And then you got Lost Boys.
Exactly.
License to Drive. The Burbs, though, like you mentioned.
The Burbs,
But yeah, we pretty much Turtles, Ninja Turtles, the voice of Donatello.
Ninja Turtles of Donatello.
Corey Feldman was a solid child actor there, and he's still alive and doing okay.
Yeah.
Which you can't say that
I have some
about
correspondence sometimes every now and then on Instagram.
You're telling me. Yeah, you follow him, and
I follow him on Instagram.
He actually answers.
Yeah, he actually answers back when I ask him questions and stuff like that.
Well, maybe he'll see this review and.
So if you're watching, Corey, we're huge fans.
He plays Teddy Duchamp.
Duchamp.
Yeah, he's like a French. He's a bit French there.
Duchamp.
And I like when.
Oh, did you know that his father is a nut house in Togus? That's where he's at. His dad.
Yeah. We'll get to that scene. That's a great scene. But I like when they're bugging him in the treehouse at the beginning there. And,
about being French.
Yeah, he's like, I'm French. He's like. How do you know?
A Frenchman's been in your backyard. Your garbage is gone. And your dog's pregnant.
just little but you can relate as a young kid. You're just picking at each other. And then when Vern comes into the treehouse, they don't even let him in.
He did the secret knock is wrong.
It's really man, these characters feel real. You can really attach yourself to this film and their adventure that they embark on. Because Vern tells them about a dead body. That's it. We find out that a kid named Ray Browers has been hit by a train. And two of the Kiefer Sutherland, he's in this film as well. He plays the town bully.
Ace Merle.
Yeah, and Vern is under his balcony looking for a jar of pennies that he can't find.
He didn't hide there for 6 months.
But Jerry O'Connell plays Vern. He ended up playing in a few things.
Jerry O'Connell played in that awesome TV show, man. That awesome TV show, My Secret Identity.
Oh my God, bro. I didn't know you knew about that show, bro.
Of course, man.
I grew up with that show, man.
What an amazing show! Eh?
I mean, I don't know if it'll hold up nowadays, but we grew up with that show.
For the time, man.
Yeah, My Secret Identity was so much fun.
Such a great show.
But some movies that he did was Joe's Apartment with all of the roaches, Scream 2.
I think he was also in Tomcats too.
Tomcats. Jerry Maguire is one of the football prospects. Yeah, he ended up having a decent career. But yeah, he looks totally different, as a child. He's one of those guys that you don't even recognize, He really grew out of that.
He went on the subway
body.
diet. He went on the subway diet.
Yeah, type of thing. So Vern tells them about the dead body because he overhears, Kiefer Sutherland's two goons.
That's it.
I think it's his two goons, Casey Samakis. He plays in the Langoliers. The black hair. He plays one of the leads. He's a decent actor, and Gary Riley with the blonde hair there is
the skinnier one.
Skinnier one, but he's in Summer School. It's just such a great comedy, man. We're going to review that one.
No, for sure,
100%. But yeah, they didn't make huge movies, but they're fun characters.
For sure.
The whole cast is fun.
Everything just flows so beautifully. Everyone does their part, and everything it just seems both perfect. The shots, man, the beautiful scenery,
especially when they're on their adventure. So there's some scenes where they're just walking and near the train tracks, but the cameras just placed back, let them walk.
That's right.
Got maybe a sunset, the mountains.
Absolutely.
It's just beautiful scenery, so it's fun to watch, and like I said, the characters feel so real, so you get involved and invested,
I find it's one of those movies when it ends, you're kind of sad because you want more.
Especially
you just
the
want
ending.
more,
But I was so shocked to realize this later on in life. That's only 88 minutes long, the running time. But it's one of those short films that feel a little longer than what it is, But yeah, it's not long at all, film. But
no.
Yeah, you want it to continue. You'd rather maybe 2-3 hours.
You want to see the kids get into a little bit more mischief. You know what I mean? Maybe go find another dead body somewhere.
No, but maybe another stop along the way.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. A little couple.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Well, let's talk about their adventure. So they embark on a 2 or 3 day journey to find that body because they think they're going to be famous if they find it. And Jerry O'Connell there, Vern, he brings the comb. Got the comb. You don't have hair. Corey Feldman. Oh my God, it's just so many funny lines, fun scenes.
The fire scene where they're all guarding the fire and guarding each other at night.
Oh yeah, around in the
Jerry O'Connell.
Well, let's talk about the junkyard scene then. Because they embark on start on the adventure. There's a Corey Feldman scene where he's trying to play chicken with a train. He just he's standing there in a position of shooting. He's going to take on the train. He wants to do the great train dodge there or whatever. And so River Phoenix gets him off the tracks. They have a bit of a beef, but they squash it pretty quick. And then they head to the junkyard. They realize they didn't even bring any food. So they get all their change together and whatnot at the junkyard, and I think they flip a coin or something like that to see who goes to the store and pick up a few goods. And Will Wheaton's character Gordy loses. Yeah, what was it? It's Jerry O'Connell say when they all get tails or something. He's like, "Oh, that's a goocher." Yeah, a goocher. I never heard that word before in my life.
Maybe it's a 50s slang.
Yeah, 50s that's a bad luck. That's a goocher. They're like, "Shut up, Vern." It's just so funny.
They always got to pick on the fat kid.
Yeah, I know, but he's not even that fat.
No, I know, but even compared to them, I mean.
But he goes to the store. There's a couple flashback scenes with John Cusack. He plays his older brother that passed away 4 or 5 months prior. And so his parents at home are kind of not even talking. They're still in shock. Marshall Bell plays his father. He plays in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Total Recall, he has the fucking baby coming out of his stomach.
Quaid.
Yeah, Quaid.
Quaid, open your
I always liked Marshall Bell. He's a good actor. So I mean, yeah,
a lot of those scenes too are also like it's one of those movies that you're on a different ride of emotions.
Yeah, I know.
You're having a great
Especially
time,
with the music,
beautiful
though.
scene, and
Yeah.
then you're having like a sad time and you feel for them.
I know,
when
man.
River Phoenix
Yeah.
is crying, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, during
about the milk money that he stole there.
Yeah. I know there's some
sad, man.
heartwarming
It hits you right in the heart, man.
And especially the ending. We'll touch
We'll touch on that a little later.
But, it's also the music with the
That's
scenes.
That's it.
You know, you get a lot of 50s music, and to me that's like one of the greatest eras. You know, because it's like they really created their own music. Now I feel like the music industry pretty much just writes the songs for these. You know, people that have a face. They go into the recording studio. They don't even have talent. It seems.
No.
And yeah, so you just felt the soul back in those days, you know. And there's some good songs there. Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lollipop. Yeah, there's some really heartwarming, great adventure. You know.
Take out the paper and the trash.
Great.
From Twins, there. It's also used in Twins.
Yeah, it's just great music all around. And of course, the main song "Stand By Me," which goes with the title, and that song just in general, it's one of the greatest songs ever written. And beautiful, you know. It's not a long song, maybe like less than 3 minutes, but with this song, with this movie together, it's just phenomenal. magic. So yeah, who else didn't I mention for the cast? I wanted to talk more about just quick about the Kiefer Sutherland when they're in town before they go set off on the adventure.
Yeah.
The kids run into him, you know, when they shoot off the gun in the laneway. They bump into Eyeball Chambers and Ace. Kiefer Sutherland plays Ace. They just bump into him broad daylight on the street, you know, businesses are open all over the place. They're fucking grabbing these minor kids, you know. Kiefer Sutherland got him on the sidewalk, got a cigarette to his eye, and I think Eyeball Chambers plays his older brother, River Phoenix's older brother.
Just letting this happen.
And he's just like laughing, and they take Will Wheaton's hat that John Cusack gave to him. They play real assholes though, you know,
complete assholes.
Yeah, so I just wanted to set that mood in motion because there's a finale near the end between the kids and those older teenagers. They don't look like teenagers, so I guess they're the town bullies, early 20s, you know.
But it just allow that to see that what Kiefer Sutherland is doing to him, and then his brother, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just allows it. There's no one in town. No one.
That's it.
It just
allowed to be.
It's just a bit odd, that scene, but. Once they get to the junkyard and he goes to the store and gets the food, when he comes back, he sees that they're not sitting there anymore.
No, that's it.
He looks over at the fence. They're already like hopped over on the other side of the fence, and then they're like, get over here. Then the junkyard guy there with his dog Chopper, like starts chasing Will Wheaton. He's running for his life. But I love Richard Dreyfuss's narration because he plays the older Gordy LaChance and he narrates through the film, but his voice. Through the film, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
And it's like he's running in slow motion, or I think they maybe freeze frame, and he's like, I heard Chopper's sick, or something like that. He's like, in my head, I heard sick balls, or and then he plays the scene again, and he fucking hits the fence, But yeah, the guy's ready to let the dog tear this kid apart. No problem. What's that guy's deal, man?
He's crazy. He's yelling at Corey Feldman.
When he's yelling, when you have a confrontation at the fence, the kids are you fat ass, and then he goes, and that guy's just yelling at them, like for what reason? Why is he so angry?
He's like, I know who you are. You're Teddy Duchamp. Your father's a loony. Your father's a loony on the Nahoutness and Togus.
Yeah.
What'd you say about my father? He took your ear and he put it to the stove and he burnt it off. My father stormed the beaches of Normandy. Your father's crazier than a shithouse rat.
Shithouse rat.
Loony. I'll rip your fucking head off and shit down your fucking throat. He's going crazy,
but
man.
Like, honestly, what is that old junkyard guy's deal? Is he just like a lonely, old, miserable guy? Because honestly, listen, those kids were already gone.
Yeah.
Will Wheaton comes into the junkyard, sees his friends aren't there, and then the guy notices a kid in his junkyard and sicks the dog, to run after him.
Psychopath.
So those kids must have heard that he was coming. They left quietly.
That's it.
Okay, so he sees a kid just stumble across his junkyard. go get him! He's sicking dogs on a 12-year-old kid, like, and then he's like fucking bad mouthing these kids and like wants to fight everyone and I'm gonna call your parents. Like, bro, they're just passing through. They didn't cause any problems whatsoever. They were leaving quietly. You saw one kid in your junkyard. You saw that he was running out. You know, problem over.
Maybe he recognized the kids and their fathers back in the day used to pick on him for being a junkyard rat.
Yeah, he knows all the parents.
Yeah, that's it. He knows all the parents.
He seems pretty bitter. Yeah, I don't know what his
deal is. He holds a grudge because their parents have been beating him up behind the laneways.
Well, I mean, yeah, he has a point about some of their parents, though. Teddy Duchamp's, burning his ear. His father's burning his ear off and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just weird little details, about the characters like that we get throughout the film.
Speaking of Teddy Duchamp, Corey Feldman, he said in an interview, like many interviews actually, that character, Teddy Duchamp, was the closest character to him, like for like personality, like in real life.
Yeah,
he's
maybe
ever played.
maybe when he was a young adolescent.
Yeah, that's what it did. That's what he meant. Yeah.
So outside the cast and what scenes we mentioned, is there any like other great scenes that stick out to you?
I always really liked the treehouse scene. The treehouse scene is a really sick scene in the beginning.
Yeah, just the beginning of them getting together.
It's just the nostalgia feeling, because me, like when I first saw that, like I said, I was 6 years old, man. Like I wanted a treehouse with my friends.
Yeah.
Maybe not to smoke cigarettes in, but play cards.
Everyone wanted that when they were a kid.
That's it, man. That's it.
For sure.
And they go and wander around. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, I really like that scene. Also, too, the junkyard scene that we just mentioned.
Yeah, and when after that they have the like their little stop for the night. They have the fire going and. Yeah, but they have the puke story, the big vomit story.
I don't even want.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good scene, but I mean, it's hard to watch because I feel like I want to puke when I watch it.
But it's like Gordy LaChance has like some talent as a writer, so he always tells his friends stories. So he comes up with that big vomit story. It's kind of disgusting, but it's a fun little story. But yeah, then later right before they go to bed and they're watching guard taking turns
Corporal
watching over
Corporal
them.
Duchamp.
But they're talking about there's one funny scene where they're talking about Mickey's a mouse, Pluto the dog, and they're like, what the hell's Goofy? And I think Jerry O'Connell was like, well, Goofy's got to be a dog or something. Yeah. Corey Feldman says that, and then he can't. The kid goes, he can't be. He wears a hat and drives a car, and then Jerry O'Connell's like. Yeah, it's fucking true. Like, what is Goofy? It's just a conversation. Like, it goes on for like 3 minutes about nothing, but it's just great dialogue.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
It's a crappy little funny conversation, and you get a 3-minute scene out of it. But it's fun. It's fun.
It's timeless classics.
And that's what they would talk about at that age. Yeah. Goofy. Like, that's what's important. Is like, what the hell is Goofy? Like that's the most important thing they can come up with type of conversation. But then they have to take turns watching. Over make sure there's no wolves or what coyotes, what they're afraid of. But yeah, you got I love Jerry O'Connell though. He's all shaking, bro. He's like
scared.
Bro, he hears an owl. Woo! He's like, woo! But bro, man, sleeping in the sleeping bag near the fire, like I'd be worried. You get a shot going off. If I fucking get shot in the head. Woo! He's like shaking, like fucking.
Or you got the Corey Feldman. He's there with the gun like this. Corporal Duchamp.
Corporal, yeah. Corporal. He's so French, eh? Duchamp.
No enemies in sight.
Yeah. They're like, shut up.
Shut up.
He's like, okay.
And River Phoenix all calm with the gun. He's like this. He's just resting with the gun like that. He's just resting. Before he tells his sad story about the milk money. Yeah,
you find out that he actually tried returning it, and then the teacher, I guess he showed up to school with a nice new coat or hat, and they said the milk money never was returned. So you get he's known as the bad kid, but you find out he tried to do the right thing, and definitely. They still, the authority, the people that are supposed to do right by you, just because of his, his family's known as being a rough family and maybe no good, all that stuff. So it was easy to take the money from him and
that's right.
And not return it. So yeah, it's just a little sad scene where they're emotional, where Will Wheaton and River Phoenix are talking by the fire. It's a nice little scene. Yeah. And then so then you get the next day, and I guess you have the big leech scene where they fall into the fucking pond or whatever. Holy Christ! Yeah, they don't realize though. No, they don't realize right away, and Will Wheaton got one stuck to his balls there, and
then he passed out from the blood. Listen, his blood.
Yeah, he's like, That's when the movie kind of starts turning for me. Like, it's a fun adventure, and then that's I guess a little after the hour mark.
Yeah.
It starts going, more okay. Let's find the body. Let's end this adventure kind of feeling. And it's kind of like after he wakes up, they're even discussing should we go back and everything. You know?
Yeah.
He's like, no, we're going. You know, we made this far. We're going. So yeah, and then Kiefer Sutherland finds out, you know, from his goofy friends that they know where the body is. So yeah, the kids are walking towards there. There's a funny, weird movie mistake though. While they're driving towards the body there near the end.
Okay.
You got Kiefer Sutherland. You got that blonde guy, Gary Riley from summer school, sitting in the middle. So you got two blonde-haired guys. And you got Casey Simakis there.
The dark-haired fellow.
Yeah, the dark-haired fellow in the passenger seat. So two blondes and a blackhead. And they're racing.
Oh, the racing scene.
Yeah, and he's got his friends in the cars next to him.
Okay.
And so Kiefer Sutherland is in the wrong lane, and there's a truck coming with like wood or whatever.
Yeah, it's got like wood pylons or something.
That's it. So his friend thinks he's got him made. He's got him blocked off. He's going to have to fall back. But, you know, Kiefer Sutherland's nuts. He's ready to kill his friends and everything. He goes forward, but there's some cutscenes of the back. You know, it's clearly a guy driving with black hair. There's some further back shots where the guy in the middle even has black hair. Guy turns around. It's clearly not Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, like, obviously, maybe it's the stunt driver for that scene. Yeah. But, I mean, you should have maybe cut some of those scenes out. There's even one where it's a close-up of his frontal. He's like he's driving, blonde hair. Then you get a complete shoulder back. So you see all black, curly hair. And then back to Kiefer Sutherland driving again, all blonde hair. I mean, it's some weird movie mistake in a classic film that you don't usually see that bad, though, you know? But yeah, that's the one movie mistake that really stood out. I know, it's, you know. And then, then they end up, you know, finding the body first, the kids.
That's it, yeah.
And Kiefer Sutherland and his gang.
And then the big standoff.
He pulls a knife on the kids. He's ready to kill the kids. See? Like,
he's going to burn their eyes out with cigarettes.
That's why I
he's
wanted
pulling
to talk
knives.
about that scene, because he's
pulling knives
clearly,
on kids.
like...
he's psychotic.
Fuck, it's just like unbelievable. Anyway, so, but...
reminds me of the crazy kid from It.
Yeah, he could have been in the...
Yeah, he could have been in It, and then later grow up to be the psycho in it, and It Part 2 that
what's
breaks
that
out of
guy's
the
name in it
Meadows.
there, though? The crazy guy. Bowers.
Bowers.
They're going to find and look for a guy named Bowers.
And Bowers.
And it's both
Some
Stephen
kind of
King
time.
books.
Yeah, maybe some kind of time.
So Stephen King has a fascination with that type of sounding name. That's the weirdest connection we just brought out. But Will Wheaton pulls the gun on Kiefer Sutherland. He goes, and he's like, Kiefer's like, can't take us all out. He goes, no, just you. Just you, Ace.
Just you, Ace.
So yeah, it's a nice little finale, but when they walk back into town, though, you know?
Yeah.
They decide not even to call the authorities and take the, you know... Or I think they call the authorities, but put in, they don't tell their names. It's just anonymous tip. And so they walk back into town, not feeling like heroes or anything, you know, just coming back to town after a 2-day trip. And it's just, it's the music.
And that's where it really starts to hit home, man. It really starts to hit home.
They start breaking off, you know, and then
going their own separate route.
Yeah, there's some narration again.
Richard Dreyfuss narration.
Yeah, he's talking about his friends like going their separate ways, and he talks about Vern growing up having 4 kids, and he's a forklift operator.
And Teddy Duchamp couldn't get into the army because of his ear and his eye, so apparently he got arrested, and he's doing odd jobs around Castle Rock.
So yeah, I guess he's still in town. Is Richard? I don't know if we find out. I know you see Richard Dreyfuss at the end, but he's in a big house with his kids waiting for him. Is that still in Castle Rock though? I can't remember.
I don't know if they made that clear.
Unless he moved on the outskirts, and so he doesn't really see his good old buddy Teddy Duchamp.
That's it.
But man, this video is going really long, but I think we covered everything. What do you think? We didn't mention any.
Well, except for the sad River Phoenix where he gets killed. He actually gets out of town.
Yeah.
He really wanted to get out of town. He was telling Gordy at the end.
And he does something with his life, becomes a lawyer, and just to keep the peace, he tries to break up a battle. Yeah. We don't see this, but that's what you find out at the beginning.
He gets stabbed in the neck, and when River Phoenix is walking and it disappears, man. Oh.
It's just... It's such a beautiful classic.
Look at it, it's already like at 24 minutes.
Yeah, but we
could
rushed.
still go.
Like I tried rushing through this, and
it's just a beautiful
these films
movie.
that you are picking. It's like we're wasting like 3 minutes just going I bet we can like go like it's just so many scenes that hit home. You know, like it hits the heart. You know, like
it's so good.
Anyways, guys, we're going to end it there. It's really been a long one there, but thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're able to watch all the way through. It's a bit long. But
and have a great night, guys. Thank you very much for all the support.
Take care, guys. Have a great night.